dun 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 dun.
So, starting Andor. Not sure why we need a movie or a series that connects to a movie where we know he dies because it connects to another movie at the end of it where he died for something important. Let's start this. So we're on episode 5. Not much has felt interesting that I've actually given a crap about. Yeah, it's cool. It's more stories in the Star Wars world, more planets, more history of stuff, but man, don't really care for Andor. But what's cool is the general commander dude of, the team that went in to find him got sent home to Mama. And Mama made him a bowl of cereal with some blue milk. So we picked it back up on episode 6. Gotta say, I don't really care much for the characters. It's not that I don't care for them. I like them. They're well-rounded and good and stuff like that. But I don't have no deep emotional attachment to these characters. If they do live or die, it's not that I'm caring to see them in a sequel. But the eye is really pretty. The meteor storm. And then just watching the TIE fighters get loaded up, prepped. That's really pretty too. They did some amazing visual effects and took some time on this to take it back to the old Star Wars style. And it looks good. It looks nice. It does. But still, me, the fan inside me freaked out a little because Rogue One connects straight to Darth Vader and Princess Leia, where this connects straight to Rogue One. And they're in the Senate Council. Like the chamber with the flying saucer things floating around the room. Oh my goodness. So still watching Andor. And I'm getting now that this isn't really just about Andor. It's not about him leading in the Rogue One and his story and such. It's about Mon Mothma from the original Star Wars and her fall, I guess, from the Senate and being there as like a thorn in Palpatine's side just to annoy him, to her rise as such an important character in the rebellion, which she's recast obviously because the original was from the original 3 films. I don't know if it's all 3. I don't think it's all 3, but she's from there. So yeah, I guess it's her story, not really Andor's story, but it's also the rise of the rebellion and everything else and how it got to that point. So inside the ancient artifact store place, not sure what it is, but he has artifacts from time before. I saw a Gungan shield. Like, it had no energy flowing through it, but it was just the frame of the shield. It's a nice little random Easter egg to throw back to, the prequels trying to loophole connect everything. But my biggest inquiry throughout all the Star Wars movie is, if you think all the battle droids were just deactivated like they were when all the stations and everything else was just shut down, why wouldn't more people not repurpose the battle droids for their own needs? We should see just the random droids all over the place. Not like, the later ones, because years and years past, they break, stuff like that. But we should still see them, like, early on, or 1 or 2 here and there, graffitied up, all rusted out or something. I know we saw one hanging on the wall, Baba, I forget, but we need to see more. There needs to be more little callbacks to, like, to show me another Gungan. I gotta say, if you watch through the prequel series, Jar Jar Binks is definitely the reason Emperor rose to power. When it came to needing somebody to cast a vote to second him, Jar Jar Binks. Without him doing it, what's the likelihood somebody else would have seconded in that situation if one, his influence over him, some sort of, like, deep Sith Lord without the Force. Maybe he had the Force. That's why he was able to do those crazy flips and all the other crazy, ridiculous stuff. This is where it starts to connect, I guess, to Rogue One. We get to see Saw Gerrera. Live action. One of the first characters, brought over. So I must say, the more and more I get into Andor, the more I don't really care for Andor himself. But these other characters like Saw Gerrera and I don't remember the character's name when he was in the prison, but oh fudge. Off the top of my head I forgot the actor's name and I don't want to Google it right now. Andy Serkis. His character, I felt an attachment, and whenever they had to get to the edge of the prison and jump into the ocean and he couldn't swim, it's like one of those, oh no, that sucks. I was really hoping you would continue on and have further stories. But they didn't show him dying, so there's a chance, there's always a chance with everything that goes out there. But Andor is just the pivotal point of how all these things connect and stuff. Like, it's kind of neat, I guess. It's not a story I cared for or wanted, but it's one that I guess I'm glad I'm getting. Not as glad as I was with Obi-Wan, but it ain't too terrible, Andor ain't. So I just got to the end of episode 12 when they all rioted on the planet, and that was kind of just, it was interesting, neat, whatever. But there's an end credit scene that's like, whoa. The parts they were making in the prison were the like connector pieces for the lenses or the satellite dish area of the Death Star. That's why it was so important. Those pieces he was making are going to help destroy Alderaan one day. And that was it. Ended on that end credit scene. Cassian was in the plane offering up his life. That's it. Cliffhanger. So, what's mildly lame now is I'm going to watch the next season happily because I want to know what the heck happened. Because obviously, he's not going to kill him. Or if he does kill him, what was the point of Rogue One? What is he, some type of clone? I don't know. We're going to watch Rogue One.
Like, subscribe, get notified.